Hello and welcome to LNB. I'm Ashutosh Singh and today we are going to talk about Docker installation. In the previous lecture, what we have done, you can see here, we talked about application deployment model and problems and how we can solve with the containers. So definitely when we need container, we need to install some platform. So out of number of container runtime engine model, we are going to choose Docker. Okay. So in this lecture, we are going to learn these things, how to install Docker in Linux, Mac, and Windows platform. Okay. If you don't have a laptop, then you can install or use Docker in Katacoda and other platforms as well. Okay, first of all, without wasting time, let's try to understand where exactly we can install Docker. Okay, so we have Docker Community and Enterprise Edition both. This time we'll be talking about Docker Community Edition, where I can call it CE. So as of now, all Linux platform, all Linux based operating system where the Linux kernel is 3.10 or later, we have where we can install Docker. Okay, if you want to install Docker in Windows proprietary, only Windows 2016 server or upper version you can install here. You cannot use Docker directly on Mac or Windows 10. Okay, so if you want to install Docker in Mac and Windows 10, you have to install the Linux first over there. Okay, so first of all, what we are going to do is I'm going to tell you how to install Docker in Windows 10. Okay, don't worry about this. I have a separate video for that. I'll be sharing the link to install Docker on Windows 10 platform. Okay, so how we install it simply. Anywhere where Docker is not supported, you need to install some virtual machine of Linux and install Docker. For this purpose, Docker Desktop came in picture. So Docker Desktop is an automated based installation of your Linux box as well as Docker Community Edition as well. So I'll be sharing this link from where you can install Docker Desktop for Windows 10. Make sure you have the right prerequisite. Okay, but if you're using Mac, I'm sharing this link. You can download this Docker Desktop from here. I have already downloaded that Docker Desktop in my desktop. It's a DMG file because Mac is using DMG file. The installation gonna take time, so I'm making this video for forward. So let's say if I'm double clicking here, the one I downloaded, I can just click and drag and drop here. It is required the administrator for a username and password. I'm writing here, and this will be taking around 5 to 10 minute time. So we are not going to wait for that because see it's around 1.54 GB and go to take 4 minute time. So this will take time. Meanwhile, I am gonna tell you how to install Docker in the next platform. Okay, for Windows we have a separate video, you'll be getting that. So meanwhile, I don't have to do any extra step apart from this. Okay, so going back to this what I say Mac OS, sorry, Linux or bare metal. So you have Linux in virtual machine, in physical machine. How you gonna install that? So I have my Ubuntu machine running in my cloud environment or maybe in a virtual box. Here, which one I am having is that is 20.04. So first of all, you have to update your Ubuntu for the first time by sudo update to refresh the libraries and all. Okay, then I'm going back to the official documentation by Docker docs. So you can browse to docs.docker.com engine install Ubuntu. Okay, you can also choose Fedora, CentOS, and other distro version. So here they're saying if you have some previous version of Docker, you can remove it. I don't have any previous version here, so I don't have to follow this step. Otherwise, you can just copy this command line, and when you copy it, just paste here like that. I don't have anything. Okay, I'm going down. Supported driver you don't have to worry about right now, and here I can start from there. Okay, so I can just take this step, copy and paste. Okay, whosoever not understanding what are these commands are doing, you need to attend the next lecture of ours. Okay, where you'll be understanding the basic of Linux and many more things like that to understand this installation process. Okay, so this is taking time a little bit. I'm going down, adding this license keys. Okay, license keys, so that my Docker installation can be verified. So just waiting for this processing to be happen, and then we can talk about more things. Meanwhile, if I go back to my Docker desktop installation by Mac, okay, so that we have started over there. So okay, yeah, there, adding this. Okay, now going back to this, and I can add this fingerprint, that is optional part, and now I can add this repository system here. Okay, so when I add this, I have to update my package management system, and then this is the main command to install Docker Community Edition. So this is being installed. Likewise, you can install in Fedora, Red Hat, and other platforms. So it's gonna be just starting and setting all the required packages. Okay, so yes, it got almost done, processing system D and everything. I can cross check by systemctl status docker. Okay, so here this is active and running. You can cross check by using docker version command line. Okay, you have permission denied method, so maybe you can use sudo in the beginning, that docker version, because it needs root access. If you want to give permission to normal user as well, what you can do, you can add Ubuntu user, I mean whatever your current user is, in Docker group. The moment you add, you have to close this terminal, start it again, or maybe log in again. I'm not saying rebooting, logging again, right? And now you check Docker version. Yes, I have this. It's 20.10, 20.10 client and server board. So this is all about your Docker installation on Linux. Okay, I'm closing this terminal, closing this one, and let me go back to my Mac installation. So here, I think this process is already going on, so I don't have to repeat that. But let's say, where was that process gone? So anyway, I don't know where it gone, but yeah, you can wait for this. It will be, yeah. So an item Docker is already in the location. You want to replace with it or moving. Stop. I don't want that. Okay. Now maybe the process is done. So how to store Docker desktop in Mac? I can search for this Docker desktop, and let's wait. This process is also going to take time, so I'm making video fast forward here, because this verification of Docker package and accessing that application, many more things like that, it's going on. So let's wait and wait and wait. Okay, so it's almost done, I believe. Okay, so simply, yes, clicking on open, and now just waiting. See here on the right hand top corner, you can see here by clicking Docker desktop is starting. The moment it will be starting, maybe okay, so yeah, restore Docker, getting stopped. by starting it again. So sometimes I use this number of times and it is asking for password, username and password. It's not happening every time, but maybe if it requires some privilege, you have to give that. Yes, it is getting started. Okay. Meanwhile, it got start. What if you don't have any OS or platform, like you don't have Mac, you don't have Linux, you don't have Windows, and you don't have enough resources? So that the one method that we can talk about is Katacoda. Okay, Katacoda is an online startup, and you can go there to practice about Docker. So I can type Katacoda and just here I can go down a little bit, and here you have number of courses. I'm really interested in the first one, that is Docker. So getting started the scenario, and what is container, how we can start that. So I'm starting the first scenario. Okay, they will be giving a lab along with some set of questions. So here you can try. So this platform is already have Docker installed. You can try by Docker version. Yeah, although 17.02, but that's not a problem. Okay, so Windows, Linux, Mac, everything is done. I can see here still this desktop is starting. Sometimes because it's a very first time I'm doing this for Mac in my MacBook, so it will take time. Don't worry about that. Okay, so I'll once a Docker desktop will be ready and running, how can I connect to Docker? So I can open my terminal of my MacBook, and here I can type like Docker version. Right now the server is not connected because it's still in starting state, but the client is already there. So you can wait for some time, and once it is done, you can just click on this. Okay, so if you face some problem in near future, you can connect me over the chat or over the community channel. Okay, so that's it for this lecture, guys. See you in the next. Thank you.